Welcome back to a new episode of Banter Sessions, number 2 of Let's Talk Snowboarding, presented by Mountain Vibes. And currently we have David Muther, aka Half Cab King, in the booth, and some other special guests potentially joining here soon. But David, how has your day been?
I woke up pretty early and got some morning laps so I could see the corduroy. I didn't film anything or anything like that. And then I ripped back here because I had to make some product photos. And then this kid hit me up on Instagram. He's a lift attendant up at the hill. He's a J1. He didn't have any boots, and he asked if I had any extra boots that he could buy. And I had these Freshies. You ever heard of Freshie? It's like a really small brand. They were trying to get it started, but they had these boots they sent me last year, and I never used them. They were just pretty bulky and red, and they had some colors I wasn't into. So I just ripped out. As soon as I got home, I ripped right back out, and this guy was taking a bus up to the hill, so I was able to get to the bus stop, and then he was able to.
Yo, what up? All right. Good. Well, we got another one joining. Trent Saucedo, the boy, aka 1K the P. What's up, dude?
Yo.
Live from the parking
How's
lot
it
of
going,
Boreal.
y'all?
What up?
Let's go. Ah, nice. Gonna go night riding.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me back. Yeah, we out here at Boreal, right in front of the park, ready to get it.
Okay.
Yeah, get some laps
Nice,
with the
dude.
boys.
Nice.
We're over
Well,
at
we also got
Sugar
David
Bowl right
in the
now. They
house.
just
You
put
might
in
know him
some
as
pretty
Half Cab
large
King,
jumps
bro.
over there. We're all session that, trying to get our air awareness back. Early season. Yeah, we've met a couple times on the hill here and there. How's it going, brother?
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
Good to see it. Good to hear from you again, man.
You as well. How are the crowds over there today? Pretty light?
Yo,
Pretty
yeah,
light. It was pretty chilling
like,
over
David and I
at
were just
Sugar
talking
Bowl.
about
We were
he took a
hot
couple
lapping
laps
it the whole day, and
he was hooking
looking
up
at the lines
a
here, it
lifty
looks
with
like we're
some
gonna get some
boots.
more hot laps.
Was that at
man,
North
so
Star,
I'm
David?
stoked.
Yeah, well, the guy works at North Star, but he was just he was on the bus, so I just ran up to
Dang.
the bus stop there and
Yeah, dude.
just handed him.
Trent, how was the
He
Sugar
took off,
Bowl?
but yeah, he works up at the North Star. Today was his first day riding, I guess, in 18 or 19 days. He'd been working nonstop.
It was dope. Speaking of new boots, Deluxe just sent me a pair, and I've been breaking those in. I was breaking those in today. Today's my first day on them.
Nice, dude. Let's talk Deluxe, dude. Like, they've been coming out with some sick stuff lately. Like, product talk, dude. So you're a fan already. We know I know Nate Houst is one of the boys on that team, and he swears by him. He says they're nice and comfy, but still responsive.
Couldn't have said it better myself. That's exactly what they are.
Hell yeah. David, what boots are you rocking right now, man?
I just ride I pick up stuff off of Amazon. There's like $150 snowboard boots. I mean, 120, and then those will get me through a couple seasons. But yeah, just pretty much whatever's cheap. To be honest with you, I've seen the deluxe stuff on Nate's page quite a bit. You know, I think that's where I kind of heard about them. Do you like those a lot, or are they all BOA? I'm kind of like looking at their page right now.
What do you say, Trent? Are you rocking boa, or are they a lace up combo fusion?
They got the side boa, and they're the lace ups, which is like normally what I'm rocking. I like to have the side boa so we can get some heel lock and really preserve those ankles. But I'm a stiff boot, tight boot kind of guy, so you can get these guys nice and wrenched down, and it's also got this little top strap, so that allows me to get it a lot tighter too. So it's a good combo, boa and laces.
Nice. Yeah, that's kind of what I've been kind of looking at. I've been rocking the Adidas Sambas for the last like 3 or 4 seasons, which they sucks. They're not Adidas isn't really running any more snowboard gear, boots or anything. So I gotta keep a eye out for that. But I was kind of looking at deluxe, maybe some Vans, maybe rock that side boa with the lace ups because I mean I don't know how you feel, dude, but I've always been a lace up kind of guy.
Big on the lace ups for myself for sure. It's funny you mentioned those Adidas Sambas. The boy OG Congo's got a couple of those on ice. He loves those boots and he swears by them. So he's bummed they're not making stuff either. I know that for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
You ever try the Airwalks back in the day? The Airwalk
Oh
boots?
yeah, man, I had a pair.
Those are
I
my
see them online every now and again, but I never had a pair personally.
those were my first ever boots. They tore up after a couple of years, but yeah. When I think of Adidas, I think of Airwalks. I feel like at the same time, I felt like Adidas was coming out with stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the Airwalks, bro. That was like one of my first pairs when I actually like they were big for a while too. They had like a sick team back in the day and like like the early mid 90s and stuff, which was really cool to see. But yeah. Um yeah, so let's talk about like so it's kind of cool. Both of you are in Tahoe right now. What's it so let's start with you, Trent. Like you drove up today. What was it like driving up? And what was it like getting into Tahoe? Is there a little bit more snow than Bear? What's the conditions like?
Man, there's way more snow than Bear. I think that was the first thing I noted when I was driving up into the mountains. I was like, man, I wish we had more snow at Bear. It's still fun over there. They got a good line set out, but it's still strip of death. They barely got enough snow to keep the people on the hill. You know what I mean? So it's packed, but it's definitely low tide over there. Out here, definitely looking better. I even I brought my winch, brought all my street gear, cameras. So if I see something I like, I'm gonna hit it.
Oh yeah,
Nice,
that's
dude.
it. A winch? What kind of winch do you have?
I had one built this year during the summer. Shout out to the homie Sebastian. His Instagram is Headcase, and that's his engineering Instagram. He builds winches for me. He built goat carts and anything you can imagine that involves a welder. That guy's been building it. So if anyone needs a winch, you know who to hit up. That guy will build you up good. But yeah, that's it's just a 212 motor, like a go kart motor on a steel frame with a spool. We got a seat and a handlebar. So it's kind of like a motorcycle. You sit on it and run it like a motorcycle. It's got a hand throttle and the whole nine. And the main thing you need on that thing is the handbrake. Because I don't know if you've ever seen anyone actually using one of those things. If you don't have a handbrake, it's whipping back at you. The operator is definitely in the line of fire.
That's crazy. I've seen some like tow ropes that are electric. Have you ever tried any of those?
Yeah, I've tried the rewinch. The rewinch is definitely a very good tool to have if you're into the streets. If you're gonna pull up to a spot that might be high burn, not enough slope, not enough snow to make a drop in. Whatever the situation may be, maybe you just need a little bit more speed, and you want to be quiet. The rewinch is the move. So rewinch definitely has its perks. I think the fact that it's electronic, you get that little drawback. It's more compact, but it's also more delicate. You could definitely mess your rear winch up quicker than you can mess your motor winch up.
Which is easier to set up for the rider, like pull out and get to the rider?
It depends. Like I said, they have their flaws and they have their perks. I would say that the rear winch is best because of the portability. You can take it damn near anywhere, and as long as you're willing to carry it and you know you're not going to drop it wherever you're taking it, you're good. But the drawback with it is you have to have a good anchor, and the anchor has to be in the right place. So with the motor winch, I can kind of wheel it in. I got it on wheels and stuff, so but you're not throwing that winch over a fence. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to have some big boys to get that over a fence, or hike it out somewhere. So I got it attached to the back of my car, so anywhere I could pull up my car, I could get the winch going, and you don't have to worry about an anchor because it's on a 2-ton vehicle. So perks and drawbacks is the way to look at it. I think it's good to have both tools.
Yeah. Man, I'm looking on their website right now, and that thing goes for $3,300.
Yeah, it's a pretty penny. So you're gonna spend a good amount. There are forums where you can get cheaper, but you never know. You might be buying someone else's problem. You never know if he dropped it or how he handled it, how he treated it before.
Yeah.
So, there's definitely a plus on the motor winch side, being that it is cheaper to, manufacture, and I'm not sure exactly what Headcase or Sebastian is charging right now for a build, but it's substantially cheaper. Maybe a third less or half the price of the rear winch in order to build a motor winch.
That sounds like a deal right there. Yeah, I'd take that.
So that's why I
Yeah,
went that way.
Yeah, that's dope. That's thinking of rope tows and winches and stuff. I think the last time I saw Tow Pro was going for base model was $10 grand, and that was I don't know, 4-5 years ago, something like that. So they've probably gone up a lot, but yeah, that's sick. You got your setup. I see you got the build in the back in the Sequoia still.
Yes, sir. You're looking at my crib for the week.
Nice. Living the life, dude.
You know the deal.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Dude, so yeah, let's all kind of talk about what's been going on. The biggest news lately within our industry has been the strike at Park City, and now kind of crept into Vail. I was chatting with David the other day, and he was telling me Vail stocks have dropped, and then I kind of looked that up. They dropped 6%, 6.5% in one day because of these strikes. Kind of, David, I'll start with you. What's your kind of thoughts on this whole thing? Are you I know, are you pro ski patrol? You how do you feel about this whole thing? Because we all know Vail is kind of trying to take over all this stuff, and they don't really treat people very well, and they charge an arm and a leg for tickets everywhere you go. How are you feeling about this?
I feel a lot of ways, for sure. I mean, I'm definitely pro employee. I worked for the resorts for 17 seasons. When I started when I was 15 years old, and when I was 16, 17, we were getting paid more, I feel like, than when I moved out to Tahoe and was teaching, in 2012 through 2016. So it's it's crazy, the cost of living and everything. But yeah, I mean, Vail stock was somewhere around $370 a share at its top, and now it's down to 178, 176, something like that. So it's clear people are losing faith in Vail to kind of run this. And I mean, if you got your employees out there friggin' picketing, you don't have much terrain open. I mean, it's definitely saying a lot to the masses, especially the more vocal that people are being. I mean, I've said it online, and I've been pretty vocal about it online. So, I hope that I'm doing my part, and I also try to take care. If I get giveaways, deals, if I get extra stuff, like I'm always just giving it out. I don't really show all that, but yeah, no. I mean, the employees are number one. When you stop taking care of employees, everything starts to kind of change. If you look at like instructors and stuff like that, it's like most of the ski instructors that are out there now are J1s that learn how to ski or snowboard. A couple weeks before they start teaching $1,200 lessons. And when the quality of a lesson goes down, and 80% of first-time snowboarders don't come back, those numbers all say a lot. I mean, I said that to you before, and here it is a year later, and like we're really seeing it now. And I'm sure in the future, if Bill doesn't, start to kind of step up, even though they're losing a lot of money now, like people are going to lose even more faith, and it's only going to get even worse, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, it's also hard for me too because I live on a Vail resort, and I've lived on this resort for the last 13 seasons, and this is my home. Like, I don't know, it's tough. I don't want to see it go down. I also don't, I don't know. There's so much to it. What do you think?
I feel, I don't know, man. I feel like when these resorts start to just like sanitize a whole bunch of stuff and make it all like under one banner and stuff, and the corporations start to take over, that's when the spirit starts to lose steam. Like I love like the small resorts still. I love the small independently owned resort. I love Timberline. Timberline doesn't need to like do anything. Like they're good on their own, and they've said that they're not going to do it. I came from a small resort, Mount Ashland in Southwest Oregon. Mount Shasta in NorCal is another one I used to be at. Like recently, another news story has been Mount Bachelor is up for sale right now in Bend, and the community is like really pushing to buy it back, and bring it back. So I'm all about like everyone kind of doing their own thing. When the corporations come in and these executives who aren't really like in the culture and stuff like that, they kind of don't make it as fun. They don't make the customer experience as good. I was listening to Bomb Hole the other day, and they were kind of talking about all this kind of stuff. And there was all these ideas they were throwing out, like, what if somebody bought up like some property and made like a kids resort somewhere, and all the families went to that resort, and there were like dinosaurs and stuff on the run, and like all these cool features and like things that make the kids happy. Whereas when you take them up to a big time resort and you can't even get parking because everyone's there, and you like it's just all these things, and the ticket prices are so much, and then you're waiting in line for hours sometimes just to take like 4 runs. Like, I mean, that's kind of tough to like justify doing that. Like we want to see like our lifestyle and our sport to thrive in snowboarding, and especially and also for skiing. And that whole experience doesn't make people stoked to go ride and stuff. So I'll ask Trent, like, how do you feel, man? Like, you come from an independently, I don't know, like, is Bear on the Icon?
Bear
I
is
can't
on the
remember.
Icon. They're an Alterra
Okay.
resort now, but this is still generally new. They used to be,
Mm-hmm.
uh, you know, I'm not sure who owned them before, but they went through a couple different ownerships, and I definitely have seen a change in the way that the mountain operates. But I think the biggest thing to me is like the safety of everyone, and you know when uh when they're okay with letting their employees be picketing instead of being at the mountain, you know, protecting the people that are paying for it. It's kind of sad seeing you know the problems that come with that, and I hate seeing injuries on the mountain. And I've seen a couple of articles come out about injuries due to poor maintenance of of powder, you know, and we snowboard all the time, and we kind of forget that this is an extreme sport, you know, like we're risking our lives every time we go out there, whether you're just riding down the mountain or you're dropping off the cliffs, you know, you're putting yourself at a lot of risk, and I think we need to always diminish that risk by being safe. And you know, I understand where the ski patrol is coming from. These guys, you know, they're not getting paid very much in a place where it's very expensive to live. So it's going to be difficult. And speaking from someone that I see all of these people that come to work at the mountain, and they're not coming to work at the mountain to get rich. You know, they're coming to work at the mountain not even to save money. These guys just want to be at the mountain and snowboard. These guys and girls are all just gung-ho about snowboarding, you know, and I think that speaks to, you know, where the heart is at, and the heart is in the employees, you know, like they need to definitely recognize that. So I don't know what it's going to take for them to make a change, but I think a change is in the near future, because it's not gonna function the way it's working now. So hopefully they get it figured out so we can all enjoy the resort in a safe manner again, you know?
Yeah, crazy to think that there's just like so much to this that it like brings down. It's crazy how much it affects when the corporations, you know, really showcase that they don't care.
Yeah, for sure. So it's interesting, dude. Like you kind of see, I kind of feel like the snowboarding has kind of started, the old school vibes have kind of come back. You know, we got a lot of, and you know, the bomb hole has a lot to do with that. And a lot of the people that, you know, were these snowboarders in the 90s, like these pros that are now, you know, maybe judges, or now they've moved on into like, you know, board company executives and all these like guys that used to ride all the time, but now they are starting to like make their way up. And these ladies too, they're gonna take back over, you know, they're gonna bring it back to the grassroots, and they're gonna bring it back to those vibes that we used to have when we were, you know, all kind of renegades and stuff. And, you know, that's kind of gone away, I feel like, recently, but it's like at that cusp now, like it's about to be a takeover. You know, we're gonna take back our competitions, you know, we're gonna get back to like smaller rail jams and stuff like that, which was super cool to see. And, you know, speaking on that, we had the you know, we had the bomb hole beatdown that went down a couple days ago, and that was a sick event to watch. You know, like it's such a crazy difference between, you know, like the X Games street style pro that went down and the bomb hole beatdown, two different vibes, and stuff. So let's kind of talk about those events. So like, did you guys check out those events, and how'd you feel? Like David, I'll send it to you, bro.
I saw some of the content that came out of it. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't watch the event itself, no. But yeah, pretty much. I didn't know too much about it other than seeing the content on their page. Where was it?
The the X Games one was in Colorado. I caught a good chunk of that. I was watching little homie LJ get after it. Stoked to see that he's took second. Think he deserved it. He's a good rider, and he definitely showed what he could do in that competition as far as rail jams go. You know, good jumper, good rider. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that kid going crazy in the future, and I'm stoked to see it.
Did he qualify for the X Games in that?
So I think he got in on like a wild card type of deal. Like he was at the qualifiers, and he got in, and then ended up on the podium.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that kid's been coming up for a while. From Big
Yeah.
Snow, I remember seeing a bunch of stuff from him.
We were speaking on LJ, right, Trent?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sorry,
LJ
sorry, you guys. I
Henriquez.
gotta keep Now my kids are in the other room watching some Lilo and Stitch.
Oh,
And
that's
they
right.
keep going at each other, brother and sister. You know what I'm saying? But gotta make sure they're doing okay. But yeah, you talking about LJ? LJ did well, and then Irish Fam, she took home the ladies. You know, podium and gold. So you'll be seeing her at X Games this year, which is gonna be super dope. That'll be sick to see.
Heck
For
yeah.
sure.
Shout out Irish. She's been killing it for a good minute now. Definitely
Yeah.
love watching her ride, man. She can kill it.
Yeah, well deserved for sure. For sure. And yeah, and then Trent, you and I were talking about Sam Klein killing it at the event at Loon for the bomb hole beatdown. That was kind of awesome to see one of the older heads out there still getting it.
Heck yeah. Sam Klein is the definition of an all-terrain vehicle, man. I see that dude throwing down everywhere. He'll be in the streets all season and then catch him in hood and he has Dub Core 10, just toss it out there, right? Like, it's pretty impressive to see, being a street rider and being more of a rail rider myself. I push myself hard to get into the jumps, but it's a different beast, and you get comfortable with one thing and to excel in another is it's difficult. You gotta push yourself a lot. So he's definitely a prime example of a good role model in snowboarding. That guy preaches holistic health and wellness and spirituality and making sure you're right between your ears and making sure your body's right first and foremost, and then you get after it. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a good mindset to have.
Definitely, dude. Yeah, speaking of, I wanted to talk to you guys about like kind of your wasn't something I think we really touched on in either of your podcasts, when you guys joined LTS. Trent, like what's you're into the health. Like what's like the mornings look like for you? Where are you rocking stretching? What's kind of your routine in the morning?
Man, I need to stretch more. I definitely do. But first thing in the morning, I always just get a little active. Whether it's picking up around the house, handling handling chores with the animals or whatever you got to do to get active. Mow the lawn, you know, something active, and then go about your day. Get yourself something good to eat, and handle what you got to handle.
Yeah. How about you, David?
I'm kind of all over the place. Like sometimes I'll hit the gym in the morning for a couple months, and then I get sick of it, and I'll find myself drinking more beer and kind of getting out of shape for a few months. I feel like Casey Willak really like motivates me to try to be a better person and like healthier for sure. But yeah, no, like a normal morning, I just wake up, have some coffee. I'm usually always trying to do something, or I don't really try to do it, I just want to do it. So like in the wintertime, I'm obviously snowboarding 5, 6, 7 days a week. In the summertime, I'm surfing, every day. Um, but yeah, I mean, usually normal day, get up, get some coffee, post a few things on the internet, go out and ride until I feel like don't want to ride anymore. And then I'll either stick around the village for a while and hang out at Incline Burger, or I'll send it home and get to work and have dinner with my buddy Jamil, Snowboard Jesus. Probably have dinner with him probably like 4 days a week, 5 days a week. And then,
That's cool.
and then
Uncle David, right?
Uncle Dave, yeah. Dude, it's the best free meal I think I've ever. I can't complain. My wife cooks really well, and I just try not to say nothing, and hopefully I get the invite back for the next day.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a little story from him. You guys were chilling on New Year's Eve, man. You passed out early though on the couch.
7 o'clock.
That sounds like me, dude, with my kids. I'm out by 8,
Yeah, it was a long day of riding. We rode hard that day, so I was so pooped.
I bet, dude. Yeah, and like, talking like more about you and like what you've been doing, you kind of started, this TikTok, Instagram, big time, with the reels and, your social media following. So you've kind of almost taken a little bit step back, and now you're kind of more behind the scenes and like running business stuff. So I can understand like, the stresses of like handling people and dealing with businesses and doing all the things that you do. Like, it comes in waves. But, when you mentioned Casey, like I watched his vlog today, he called all of us out. He's like, if you're complaining about, being out of shape or not being able to do stuff, he's like, we're all conditioned to like have our vices and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, my vice is just getting stoked now. And he's like on this like kicker right now. He's a madman. He hit his triple threat on New Year's Day like he always does, and was just an animal, dude. It's just like, I've never seen this guy like go so hard and do all the things that he's been doing. But David, like, let's talk a little bit more about like what you've been up to, man. Like, you've kind of had a little bit. I feel like last season you were a little bit more behind the scenes, but this season you kind of come back and been posting a little bit more. Like, what's the future looking like for you? Like, what are some things that you've been working on?
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest with you, what the future looks like. I just kind of take everything. I just want to make sure that I'm in love with everything. I don't, I like to make videos and I love to snowboard, and I just don't ever want to overdo it. And like I don't know. I'm not like I don't really care about like, things are doing well or not doing well, or if I'm posting or not posting. Like I pretty much took the entire summer and didn't post. I kind of needed a break. Like it gets overwhelming. As far as like the future goes, I don't know. Like, dude, I got this really sick. When is this thing coming out? When's this podcast?
Dude, we might be putting this out soon. I kind of ran out of a few episodes, and I'm trying to make catch up right now. So I'm thinking it might come out by next week.
Oh, okay. So, in about 24 hours, we're gonna put out a goggle. It's called Prime Goggles. And essentially what we did is, for the last 3 years, I've been riding the same exact goggle, Hauser. For the first season, they paid me. For the next 2 seasons, they didn't. And I didn't do any other deals with anybody because I just liked the goggle. It never fogged up. It never had any issues with it. It never wore. It never tore. They weren't able to be like a deal or whatever. I wouldn't consider it sponsorship, like, because I'm a content creator, but some kind of like a deal. They weren't able to. So what I did was, over the entire summer, I found their manufacturer. I got a ton of samples, and then when I narrowed everything down and then tested everything myself, I was able to find the right one. So anyways, we're going to put that out within 48 hours. And then the other thing that I'm putting out is a t-shirt. It's a Save the Turtles t-shirt. It's got a guy wearing a turtle butt in the front, and on the back it's got like a little half-shell turtle, so it looks like a turtle ass. So those are a couple big things. But I'm working with Glacier Marketing. We're chit-chatting about doing something with like skiers, riders, stuff like that. I'm also going through brand deals every day. Doing stuff with Snowboard Jesus, like editing for him. Yeah, I mean, everything's just... Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I've really got going on. But I feel like, I don't know, it takes up all my time, all day, for sure. I would say I'm probably working somewhere around 12 hours a day, whether it's emailing someone, on the phone with somebody, building a website, talking to manufacturers, talking with brands for myself and with them. So, yeah, it's constant work. Future is, hopefully it's bright. I don't know. We'll see.
And Trent, you're gonna be traveling, right? You're gonna be doing a lot of. I know you're trying to get into the streets, and you just kind of focused on filming and then transitioning. Are you gonna be going back to Hood this summer?
Definitely gonna hit up Hood again this summer. Couldn't miss it. But yeah, as far as this season goes, just trying to get some better jumps, get some better jump skills, hit some backcountry if I can, and mainly film rails in the streets. Trying to get as many clips as I can for this next edit. Just got to get that going, and It's still early, so I'm not too worried about it. But traveling's definitely on the list. Gotta focus on school though. School's like probably the main priority because I'm gonna graduate after this next semester. We're on winter break right now, but yeah, one more semester and I'll have my piece of paper. You know what I mean?
Kinesiology, right?
Yeah, kinesiology.
Let's
Congratulations.
go.
Appreciate it, guys.
That's gonna be sick.
Yeah, I'm
Hell
stoked.
yeah. Nice, dude. So right now you're are you itching to get some night laps in at Boreal? You got some homies riding in the crew?
Yeah, the homie Will and the homie Tony from Mount Hood are out here, and
Nice.
yeah, they're just gonna be. I haven't seen them come down, but I haven't been paying attention too much. They're just lapping it, and
Okay.
yeah, Will was throwing down today, man. He was throwing some frontside 900s on that jump, dude. Guy was going crazy.
Heck
How was the
yeah.
park up there?
At Sugar Bowl, it was pretty tight. I didn't go into the smaller section. Stayed in the bigger section. It was like a flat rail to down, flat down, a little lightning bolt, and then straight to the jumps. And they were pretty lengthy. Probably some of the bigger jumps I've ever hit. So
Yeah,
stoked to be out here.
it seems like a good park. I haven't ever been, but I follow Big Mountain Murda, who like works and rides up there. And everything looks fun.
Yeah, shout out Murda. We was just with him too. He was over there. I think he might have pulled up to Boreal. I don't know. Let's see who we run into. Oh, there goes Will and them. They're getting on the lift right now.
There you go. Now you gotta get out there, dude.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Soon enough.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking on Sugar Bowl, I have a good friend who's living up here in my area for a while, but he used to be park crew at Sugar Bowl. Um, but now he's down at he just moved down to like Grand Targhee, down in the west side of the Tetons down there in eastern Idaho, doing some things down there, pretty cool and shaping and stuff. So his name's Nate. He's the man, dude. He's a chill homie. He used to run some stuff over at Meadows too at Hood. So, um, but yeah, speaking on the homies, dude, like I wanted to talk to you guys, kind of like you know there are some things that have been said, recently. I'm not going to call Brian Fox out too much, but he was kind of dogging on like the half pipe riders a lot on this most recent group chat on the bomb hole. And he was just saying like they should get rid of half pipe and all this stuff and how it's like kind of met its peak. And Todd Richards joined them too, and he had a great idea on how like we like a lot of people can't relate to the half pipe, right? Like it's so high level now and they're doing so much crazy stuff, 25 feet out of the pipe and stuff. He had a great idea where he was like, we should have a tour where it's like you show up and the pipe is the pipe, whether it be a super pipe, an 8-foot pipe, an 18 pipe, a 12-footer, maybe a adapted pipe with like rails and like different hips and all that kind of stuff. And I thought that was a great idea. But I kind of felt like Brian was like cool guy and a lot of people. He's like, I was like, and I've kind of had a little bit of experience with that this season. I'm trying to film and I'm trying to help out the homies up here. And a lot of them are, like high level people and they got their crew from the local board shop and stuff. And I always try to like get in and try and film. But a lot of them have just been like, yo, dude, I don't want to film with you. I only film with these people. Just kind of cool guy and stuff when I'm just like, trying to help out people and stuff. Like, how would you guys feel about that? Like, what's like the thing that like, kind of ticks you off about like certain people just being like, no, I'm not down with that. I'm too cool for that. Like, I only like film with certain people. Like, have you guys ever had experience with that? And what are your thoughts on some of that stuff? I'll send it to you, Trent.
Um, I mean, I can understand either side of it because I guess I've been on either side of it. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, riding around some of these people that are, they're legends in Bear and stuff. wanna get in stuff like, Sunday in the park and stuff like that. But I also understand that, like, from my point of view, I don't want to be in it unless I'm putting something heavy down. You know, I don't want, I want to represent myself as well as Big Bear in a good way. And on top of it, I can understand, um, people being clicky who they film with, because you never know what obligations they have. You never know who's paying them or what their deal is with who. And that's why I never try to take it too personal. And, I let everything just be what it's going to be, and, let the writing speak for itself. And if we're going to work with each other, we'll work with each other. If not, hey, no hard feelings, but I've definitely been there where I'm like, hey, I want to get in on this. And I think a lot of it is speaking up too. I'm very behind the scenes. I'll throw my tricks down, and I don't even really ask too many people aside from the tight homies, like, hey, can you shoot this for me? So I can understand it, but I definitely think we all need to help each other out, like you're saying. It's sick to just help each other out. Be a team
Like,
player.
yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah. I guess I just get stoked on going out and filming, dude. So, but I totally get it. If someone isn't down to film that day, they're not feeling like they're throwing their best stuff down, you'd be like, okay, that's cool. But, all you got to do is just, have that good communication, be approachable, approach people and be like, hey, can I film you? And if they're not down, then they're not down that day. Which is all
Exactly.
good.
And I've definitely had I've had people film me that they just recognized me, they knew who I was, or they might have just saw me ripping that day, and they're like, hey, like, you mind if I get a couple shots of you? Like, I'm like, go ahead, man, no worries. I'm always down to let people film me if they want to film me, but then my perfectionist comes out when I see them post the video, and I'm like, I wish I would have done this, that, and that better, or I wish they wouldn't have put that out. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's just Instagram. It's just a post. I mean,
Yeah.
everything will be all right. I'm just like,
Yeah.
love snowboarding, and if someone's gonna be stoked to come and point a camera at me, like, that's the ultimate form of flattery. So I can't just be like, nah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. David, like you kind of started the whole kind of more of like you're like super approachable. You approach people on the hill, no matter who they are, and just to help them out with your instructor background and stuff. Like, how do you like? What's your kind of thoughts on like on filming and crews and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fun, dude. I think that's some of the funnest shit or stuff that there is out there. Just like riding with the friends and filming. I don't really ask too many people if they want me to film, but whenever someone asks me to film, I always say yes because it's one of my passions. I don't know. I'm almost 40 now, so I don't get in the park as much as I used to. But when I was younger, until my mid 30s, I was a park rat, and every lap was in the park. So I love to just be there and film that kind of stuff. But I feel weird about asking guys that are good at riding to do it because I don't know. I don't know what to say or how they're gonna feel. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's super fun. I love that kind of stuff. I feel like I wanted to. You were talking about the half pipe stuff, um,
Yeah.
and I just want to say, like, I think I absolutely love the half pipe. And it's super entertaining. It's my favorite thing to watch by far, and I feel like it's the only thing I'm any good at still. But I feel like when like the knuckle hug came around, like that was super new and exciting and fun and a little bit different, but also it's challenging. I feel like things like that, like more new things could come to the scene that are a little bit different, but they're challenging and interesting to watch. I feel like that kind of stuff is what I would love to see and love to see like the sport kind of go. I know pipe should always be there, and there should always be a half pipe contest, and I think at some point in time, the amount of flips are going to stop, the amount of spins are going to stop. So like adding things to it could be good. I don't know, but yeah, I think like seeing more features or more different types of comps like that would be exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, you have like these crazy riders like Rene Renacongas who's like, I mean, I think he's rider of the year just from his heaven part. I mean, that was insane to watch. And we've been seeing him do crazy stuff forever, like, but he would thrive in a hat, like he thrives in the pipe. That's because he doesn't throw down, as many spins as other people, like Ayumu or Scotty James and stuff like that, but he's still so stylish. Like that, what Todd Richards was saying is like if you like had different pipes, like it could create this like more like level playing field, like Rene would like slay like a 12-foot pipe. And like, you never know, dude, like, because you see these half pipe riders when they're warming up, they're throwing like fives, threes, like all those like smaller spins and stuff. Um, and they just look so good, like, but you don't ever see it, you know what I mean? Unless they're like posting stuff like that on Instagram. And usually they're not, like they're usually posting the big stuff because that's what's going to get them, as many views as they possibly can get and get their name out there more. But everyone is still so stylish, like, and I feel like a lot of people like just think a certain way about the half pipe and maybe about slope style too, like, you got to throw like an 18 now on a jump to get, podium at the half pipe. And the spins have just gotten so crazy and people are just like, it's just like watching a helicopter like whirl around all the time. But you see them in like practice and stuff when they throw steezy stuff, like, and they throw like the biggest method you've ever seen. Like that's dope to watch too. So maybe we like kind of switch up the way we look at certain things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, and just kind of bring it back a little bit and kind of create a more like diverse playing field for like all the riders and stuff. Which I think, video has a lot to do with that too. Like the video parts that have been coming out, just crazy right now. Like everyone's doing their stuff. And, Trent, you're really big into like the video parts and streets and stuff. Like, let's kind of chat a little bit about some of the videos that have come out. Have you checked out that new heirloom that came out recently?
No, I don't think I checked that one out. I did watch
Okay.
Renee's part.
Heaven, yeah.
Yeah, that was a very good part. I enjoyed that a lot. The pay the rent part was very good. I enjoyed it. I think one of my favorites so far was the Trey Squad video. It was Peace, Love, and Trey Squad. That was a really good video. I like the spot selection in that, and just the trick selection and spot selection was on point. So yeah, I definitely know there's a lot of footage that I gotta watch. I gotta watch Hitman. I'm not sure what his name is, but I know his Instagram. He has a part that just came out. I really want to watch that one. Those Midwest fellas definitely did their thing from the Instagram posts I've seen. So I gotta do some more homework on the recent stuff, but I really appreciate the spot selection in all these videos. Renee's part was very good, very technical tricks, but the spots were just, where do you even find that? I was almost shaking my screen because I was like, if only I could have that in my life somewhere, somehow, but, finding the spots is just as much of a game as getting out there and trying to hit it. So mad props to all these guys. They definitely did their thing. And another good video was the new video that the Carell brothers put out. That one was sick too. Watched that one a couple times. Yeah, dude, it's been a crazy season as far as street riding goes. It looks like everyone's firing on all cylinders, and we just need to keep it up. I need to get out there and do my thing, and can't wait to see what everyone else does too. It's gonna be another good season. I can tell. Hopefully we get some snow in the right places, and people will start murdering it as they should.
Yes, sir. David, how about you? You been checking out some video parts lately?
I saw the Renee one with Monster Energy.
Okay.
I've watched a few like ones off Shred Boss. I think
Did you
the
watch
ride was pretty good. Really
yeah.
remember.
Did you watch Torstein's new movie?
No, I didn't.
Oh man, that's a good one, dude. That was fairly incredible. I think it was like the return of the Shredbots. Like a month and a half ago, they started premiering that one.
Mm-hmm.
If you get a chance, check it out, dude. But yeah, I was speaking on Heirloom. It was kind of more recent. It was like this last week they premiered that, but it's basically just all backcountry jumps and natural features.
Oh,
It had Yuki Kadona, Brian Iguchi,
oh yeah, I
Mark
saw that.
Carter, the homie from Wyoming. Yeah, so a lot of backcountry riding, but it was sick, dude. It was like
Yeah, their premieres are always in the morning. So it's like good to like have the premiere when they have it. Drinking coffee, hype you up. Yeah, I think I saw that one.
get stoked to go to the hill.
I saw one with who's who did that? That's all Kurt Morgan, his brother,
Yeah.
I think, put out one. I saw that. I remember.
Yeah, that was dope, dude. Yeah, there's just so many. Like, I'm literally on the page right now looking at all the premieres that have been going on the last couple weeks, and it's just like there's so many. I was kind of talking about Brian Fox dogging on the half pipe, but he had one that Nitro Snowboards put out. It's called the Quiver, and he's just riding, the Quiver, all the Nitro boards that it came out, and like going to 6 spots and. Whether it be like Vans has put one out, Rene's got his Heaven, Screwdriver, like all these parts, man, it's just insane. And that's what's kind of sick to see is like, that's what it was called, Torstein's Shredbots Return. So, you had Torstein, Mikey Cicerelli, big dogs, like there's just so many. It's just insane to see. But like the level of camera work right now is pretty incredible, and the technology that has come out, you have all different types of cameras. You got the long lens homies filming that part. You can rock the GoPro POV style. You can rock the GoPro follow cams. You can rock the old school fish lens and stuff like that. And so like I kind of want, like we were talking, like what gets you stoked, dude? Like Trent, like what kind of video part do you get stoked on? Is it all street, or do you get kind of stoked on like a mixed variety of riding and stuff?
I like a mix, If it's at a resort, I say keep it out of the video. But I like to see backcountry. I like to see, cliff drops. I like to see everything, cinematic stuff too. It's not always about doing something that you're gonna, die if you mess up. It's about making something that's enjoyable to watch, that people are gonna want to stay tuned. You can watch a video, and I find it that sometimes I'll be watching something and I just kind of lose interest, and it's I stick through just because I'm very critical and I want to see what's going on and compare myself to others as well. I mean, I like to see what others are doing and what I'm doing, you know, nitpick things, but it's not so much of a disrespectful nitpick. It's a criticism, like, we're all artists, and I wanna make my art better by watching your art too. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the way I look at it. I like to see a variety, and I like to see things that are actually enjoyable to watch and pertain to snowboarding. That's a big thing to me. It's the clips that have nothing to do with anything that kind of make me lose interest a lot of times. So that's kind of just my format, is keep it interesting, keep it high pace, you know, and throw whatever's sick in there that's not at a resort.
Gotta have a good soundtrack.
Yeah, soundtrack's important too. I definitely agree with that. You know, but everyone likes to do different stuff, and I kind of enjoy that too. You know, it's not like there's a, you know, there's a specific way to do something. You know, I think in the Trey Squad video, their powder part was, you know, to like some heavy metal or something like that, something hardcore. I can't remember exactly, but I was like, that's right. You know, like that's a little different, and it goes. You know, like usually people slow it down, and or the older videos, it's some, you know, some gangster stuff, and you know, I like seeing that stuff too. So
I like it.
yep.
David,
Yo.
yo. So, let's talk about um, you know, were you able to catch that most recent half pipe contest at Copper?
No, I didn't. Last thing I watched
Okay.
was Lion Pharrell's time. I think it was.
There was a little bit of controversy, man. They didn't they kind of dogged on Chloe, dude. They kind of dogged on Chloe Kim for as she was like, she threw down probably the sickest run, you know, by far out of all the women in the pipe. But, you know, she was riding out of her run, right? And she was like already celebrating and stuff. Like, what's up? Are you not entertained? And she like kind of slipped out and fell.
I saw
And she
that.
got dogged on. She got dogged on her score. Like, I
Oh,
don't know.
really?
That was kind of like a little whack to me. I don't know how. I know you were able to watch it, but I mean, it was. I know Trent, you saw it, so I'll throw it to you. Like, how you kind of feel about that?
I mean, competitions are always gonna be a little bit. Um, it's too formal for me. You know, I like competing in competitions, but that's just what you get when you're in competition. You know, like if you're, you know, doing anything that the judges don't like, you know, it's a very arbitrary scoring system. You know what I mean? It's not so set in stone, and you know, riding out, and you know, you fall on the last little, you know, piece of the pipe coming out of it. Like, I can understand them not, you know, not scoring her as they would if she didn't do that. But you know, as a rider personally, it's like, you know, stuff happens, man. It's like, I can agree she got dogged, but you know, it's competition, you know, at the highest level too, you know. So
Yeah.
it's kind of just the waters that you're in, you know.
I'm seeing the clip right now for the first time. So she got docked points for that. Did she still win or what?
No.
Oh wow.
No, they threw. I think where'd she place, Trent?
I'm not sure where she placed, but I definitely did see a little bit of the controversy online talking about it. Saw some comment sections, you know.
Yeah.
Either way, going either way. So, you know,
Yeah.
I think everyone knows, you know, she's a dog. She can do it again if she needs to, and she'll have the
Be all right.
opportunity to. Yeah, it'll
Yeah.
be okay, you know.
Yeah, that was something that Todd Richards was saying. It's almost like she gets scored against herself. You know what I mean? So like that's the level that she's got to. Same with like Scotty James and Ayumu. You know, like when those guys don't throw down or have the littlest bobble, it's almost like they get docked a little bit harder because everyone knows like what they're capable of and stuff. So um that's something I'd like talk with Lucas Foster a little bit about on the podcast. Like, it's just kind of crazy the level that's everything's at right now. Is like people can just throw down the craziest shit every single competition, and he's like, how? Like sometimes he's just like, how do I even keep up with this stuff? Like, you almost have to invent your own, you know, unique style every single time you come out and try to throw something that someone else doesn't have in their pocket, and it's like this, like, leveling up to the next thing. So it's going to be sick to see, though, coming up. We got some events coming up. We got locks coming up here soon. That's going to be dope. Definitely catching that live stream with Red Bull TV and the bomb hole, doing the commentary on that. That should be dope to watch. And of course, X Games, always like the Super Bowl for us, like getting to watch X Games and stuff. Like you guys have plans to catch any of these events live or on TV or anything like that?
I might be out there in Colorado for the X Games.
Let's go.
Yeah, I might just be. I've been to the last, I think, 2 or 3. Yeah, I've been to the last 2 or 3. I've been in Colorado during it, so
Nice.
I want to get out there for the Goon Jam. February
Yes, sir.
2nd is when the Goon Jam is, right there at the Frisco Tow Rope. So haven't gotten to ride the Frisco Tow Rope. I've heard nothing but good things about it, so I'm excited. I got a lot of friends out there I'm happy to see. So yeah, it should be a good time. It's always a good time when the X Games is in town, and then Lucas and Tanya come to town, and it's that's usually like the mark of the start of everything for me. You know what I mean? Then everything's in high gear. You know what I mean?
Yeah. David, how about you? You got any plans coming up soon for events?
Oh, I mean, I'll definitely be watching the X Games. I try to catch most of that. I won't watch the lock. Yeah, about it for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like when it comes to like watching snowboarding, like I absolutely love it, and I love the X Games. I've never missed one. But I feel like I like a little bit more of a story to like engage.
Yeah. Yeah, because you attended. How many years ago was that you were out there?
2 or 3.
Okay.
Pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a highlight of my life, man. That was crazy. I friggin' watching snowboarding. I was so young, and yeah, just like be there and see all the people I see on TV, and Zal. I mean, it was an opportunity of a lifetime.
Salema. Yeah. Salema, man. Yeah, I can definitely vibe with both of you guys. I've never been, but it's definitely like a bucket list item for me. But I haven't missed it since I was probably like 10 years old. I watched it every single year. And yeah, but here's another thing. Like, I don't know if you guys have heard, but no Dew Tour this year. Dew Tour's not going to be going down.
Did you notice that all their socials changed? I noticed that this summer.
How'd that change?
I don't know. It doesn't say, it's not Dew Tour anymore. It's something else. I don't remember the company that bought them.
That's actually the first I'm hearing about that. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah.
Pull it up.
Yeah, it's crazy because Mountain Vibes. We've been there for quite a few years in a row. Been out there.
Yeah, I've been there with you guys for sure. It's a bummer.
So that was something that Justin actually put me on to at the beginning of this season. So, so that'll be kind of interesting to see if that kind of gets rebranded into something else. We've kind of lost some stuff, honestly. Like, no more Burton U.S. Open. I think we're coming into year 2 or 3 of that without the Burton U.S. Open, which was kind of like the snowboarders like Super Bowl, like as far as like the riders and the culture and stuff. Everyone really looked forward to that one, of course. So yeah, it's kind of like a changing thing, but we got some new stuff in the works. You got like, I'm kind of interested to see how the Snow League goes down. Shaun White's a new thing and how that evolves. And now natural selection is kind of diving into skiing, and they're going to be doing some other things. Like they may be doing some mountain biking events coming up here in the next couple years. So natural selection's expanding. So kind of like a changing of the guard, almost like I was talking about earlier, as far as like everything goes. So it's going to be kind of sick to see how that all pans out and stuff. But, I'm always looking forward to the Natty Select, dude. That's kind of my new thing. Like, even though like last year's broadcast was kind of shitty. It was cutting out a lot, dude. And it was like they had to like rebroadcast it later and stuff. So you didn't even get to see half the runs live and stuff. So, and that's kind of how the street style was for me too. It was cutting out all the time. And, you know, Craig McMorris was like at his house, like announcing it from his house. I'm like, why isn't Craig there, dude? Like, why isn't he down at the bottom like he should be? Like last year's X Games, he was so sick. You know, he was down there and interacting with all the riders as they finished their runs and stuff. Like that was probably one of my favorite things I've ever seen. But I don't know how you guys felt about that. Like, how did you feel about like last year's X Games and like kind of how the broadcast all panned out and like the vibes of that? Because I know, David, you watched it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was definitely a little different. It didn't seem like it was as interesting last year for me. I think it was a little harder for me to watch the entire thing, actually.
Got you.
But something about this year, I don't know what it is, but I'm really hyped on this season.
Yeah,